Speaking about mental health, and since I'm always open and honest on here, I start another round of CBT tomorrow. Bit nervous because it always makes me worse before it makes me better. But if anyone like me who tends to need regular top-up CBT and finds that it doesn't work, or it works for short periods, ask about step 3. This is for the UK guys, because obviously in the States now it'll be called something else. But step 3 is like very specialised. It lasts longer. And what I've found is if I do that, it doesn't wear off. The effects don't sort of wear off as quickly as sort of traditional. I'm going to message right up. Oh, and I've saved it. I nearly tipped my Merlot over, but I saved it. I'm always sort of quite good at self-referring. The thing is now I'm getting better at recognising. Nia will say I've still got to do work on that, and I agree. But yeah, 2 years ago I had my step 3 therapy for the first time on worry management, because you might have picked up I worry quite a bit on here, and that worked brilliantly. But by fixing that, sort of, we discovered another underlying thing of anxiety, and it was causing physical symptoms that I, just being a typical bloke, thought there must be something wrong with me physically. But you kind of had to remove that issue to find the another underlying one. So yeah, I'm going to be starting step 3, but focused on anxiety this time. Which was really hard to explain that the week before that treatment started, I was going to Africa. Like, because people are like, well, how can you... But it's like functioning high anxiety or something. I don't bloody know. Therapy really helped me. At first I didn't think it was going to do anything. It's really hard. And it is hard. It is hard. And you have to really lean into it. If you don't engage with it, it's not going to work. And you have to get really out of your comfort zone. So what helped with me for step 3 was my guy would literally, like, when I'd say I wasn't socialising or whatever, he'd make me WhatsApp someone back. So if someone had asked me, I've got a best mate, known him for years. He's always asked me to go for a beer. I'll come up with a reason not to, you know, all that jazz. And then, and it looks really bad, you know, right? Because when I go and do these advocacy trips, I do them because they help me cope and they keep me well and they give me something to focus on. But I totally get from a friend's point of view, you're like, why can't you go down the pub with me, but you can go to frickin' Africa? I get that that looks ridiculous, but there is a reason why one of them things is easier for me to do than the other. Whereas this guy on step 3, he'd actually get you to WhatsApp them back and commit and say, right, tomorrow night we'll do it. Like, it was horrible. I'd be dripping in sweat with anxiety. But I've found, the thing is, I find with standard CBT, if you lean into it, if you engage with it, it works. But for me, it just doesn't stay. I have to have yearly top-ups with it. Whereas I find the step 3 specialised stuff gets to the root of the issue a lot better. Yeah. Anyway. Sorry, I went down a bit of a rabbit hole there. But I'm not looking forward to starting it because it sucks. It always makes me very tired. I feel like I've been beaten up, like physically it wears me out. But I guess that is the anxiety, you know what I mean? Anyone who's had a panic attack or knows what that feels like will know what I mean by that, where you can't sleep, but you just lie on the bed and you can't do nothing. It leaves me feeling like that a lot. So I'm not looking forward to the first few, but it'll get better. Right, look at that. I bought 6 pallets and it hardly moved the needle, you greedy bugger. We ain't even got a full barn in there yet. My word. They're going to demolish my sugar beet. No. And the thing is, you're not going to fix it. Anyone who thinks it's going to get fixed, and that is the problem, right? Like modern society, we're programmed to think you break your leg, you go in the hospital, get it fixed. And that's the problem with chronic illness as well, in that the system's not rigged to fix that, to manage it long term, to navigate the way it changes with our life journey with it. So people that go into these things like CBT and that, thinking it's just going to fix them, it's not. It's helping you learn to live with it. And ultimately you have just got to live with it. You know, my anxiety and over worrying is not going to go away. Hasn't gone away in 40 years. Why would it go away now? But I can now learn to cope with my worry, but for whatever reason at the minute, my anxiety. And it's ever since I went to that Stockholm trip I told you, on this stream numerous times. When I went to Stockholm and I got COVID and had to have that horrendous journey back, I'd been stuck in a hotel ill for days, and it kind of made me retreat, you know. And you know that because only look at how I streamed. I didn't stream for 4 months after that, and it had nothing to do with streaming. It was an advocacy trip. It was a travel issue, but I just went inward. And at the same time, I stopped playing in a band. I stopped going out with friends. And yeah, I've got to fix some of that stuff. So I'm back streaming, and you guys are like my social life, and it's amazing. But I need actual human face-to-face contact as well. And I've got thousands of pounds worth of musical equipment behind me. I literally bought a new bass guitar already like 6 months ago, or whenever it was, a couple of months ago. And I'm not even in a band, and that's just stupid. Like, it's just because it's an uncomfortable place for me to be in. Do you know what I mean? Like, you play with other people, you can make mistakes, you can look a fool, you can... So I'm basically not doing anything that I feel like is going to put me out there. Which sounds stupid when I've just been to Africa. I get that. The trip was the worst part. The advocacy bit, I have full confidence. Like, I'm a different person out there. Like, it's hard to explain until somebody sees me operating in that. Like, I have full confidence in my ability when I'm advocating. Like, I will stand in front of any politician, leader. Like, I met the director for non-communicable diseases of the World Health Organization last week. I had lunch with him, and I have zero fear in that. Like, I'm so confident in my ability to get my message across and talk about the pain points and represent the community with what our experiences are. I have zero fear. I'd go sit down with Keir Starmer tomorrow, probably not Donald Trump, I'd want to punch him, and happily talk about that with zero fear. But I can't go down the pub with my mates, or I can't pick up my guitar and play anymore. Like, I haven't picked up and that's the thing for me, and that'll be what I'll be telling them tomorrow. That's always a red flag. If I stop doing what I enjoy, if I stop playing guitar and all that sort of stuff, then there's something wrong. And I genuinely think it went from getting COVID on that trip. That happened in, what was it, July? And then in September my dog got attacked, and I've suddenly developed this fear of all dogs, including my own, which is just completely irrational. And then, yeah, that's made me just go into my shell, which sounds stupid, like I say, when I've just been to Africa, when I'm on here talking all Billy Big Bollocks every week. I get that sounds stupid, but that is the reality of it.